Welcome to the With You Rugby podcast, designed to give you an in-depth look at the United States Rugby Foundation, including our grant programs and recipients, fundraisers, events, and much more. Now let's get started.
Well, my quick little background is grew up in New Jersey, found rugby around 10 years old in this awesome, K-8 flag program in Long Valley, New Jersey. I was a basketball, football, baseball player like every other kid I grew up with, and found rugby pretty early. And I was better at that sport than the other ones. And so it kind of stuck. Moved to Florida in high school where there was no youth rugby. So my brother and myself were a little upset with our folks for taking us away from not only our home state of New Jersey, but the sport of rugby we grew to love. And so our dad was a superhero and got together with us, and we started a rugby team at the high school we went to. Went to college. There was no rugby team there either. Started my own, so by the time I joined Teach for America, which sent me to Memphis in 2012, I had already, been part of building a couple of rugby programs, the high school, the college. And so I knew that when I was becoming a teacher in Memphis in 2012, that I was going to do it again and start a rugby program or a team for the young men that we were teaching. And over 12 long years, that turned into Memphis Inner City Rugby. And then that inspired the birth of Urban Rugby America, a nationally scaled network of similar mission-aligned programs to Memphis. And that brings us into March of this year for the 5th annual Urban Rugby Championship. And now I get to deliver that from the platform of the United States Rugby Foundation. So very excited to do that. Well, actually, today marks 1 month on the job. I started January 5th. We're recording this on February 5th. And I really have been excited to just learn so much. The foundation's been around since the 60s. I've only been around since the 90s. So plenty to learn and internalize, and people to meet and relationships to build. So what I'm trying to do from my leadership position and with my experience is definitely start to run things like a business. And there's a reason why the foundation's been successful and in existence for so many decades. And yet in the sport of rugby, we all have room to grow. And where can we, refine operations, institute strategic planning, save money, work smarter and harder to raise the profile of our sport, sophisticate our operation, optimize every dollar that comes in to make sure we're growing the youth game in a way that sticks, in a way that means something, and we can retain participants and actually convert them into fans, referees, coaches, medical trainers, just people who have rugby as a legitimate entity in their lives. Well, the good thing is the United States Rugby Foundation has always played a role in the Urban Rugby Championship by sponsoring it every year and helping make it possible. Because like I said, these are all mission-aligned programs coming from under-resourced communities. So the idea that they can get to some national destination, and whether that be a flight or the vans and the hotels, it is very much a barrier to the very programs that we seek to serve and engage through the network of Urban Rugby America. So the United States Rugby Foundation coming in as a sponsor for the 5th year in a row helps unlock that experience, which is a really magical one for almost 250 students from coast to coast. And so now the foundation just has a deeper level of engagement because, I'm still involved with running the tournament and organizing the teams. And now I'm doing it as the CEO of the U.S. Rugby Foundation. So just thrilled to be able to, merge these excellent institutions and make it even better. So I'll do a very quick outline. So anyone that's taking notes or marking their calendars, still hasn't booked their travel, we start the championships on Friday, playing all during the day. And then we'll go right from the championship to downtown Dallas at the Jackson Walker Law Firm. Bob Latham has been kind enough to host us there for a venue that has about the capacity for 100 people. And 6 p.m. we'll get together, some cocktails, some food, a presentation to overview what you can expect from the United States Rugby Foundation, what you can expect from my leadership here in 2026 and beyond on our way to hosting World Cups in less than 5 years. You'll also hear from Leroy Taylor, a wonderful public speaker who's a Memphis Inner City Rugby alumni. I've known him since he was about 15 years old. He's now a decade older than that, living in Dallas. And so a local Dallas resident will come give his testimony and speak to the power of rugby in his life and what it can mean for so many others. Well, we have some big dreams to, again, elevate the profile of the game, but unlock real capacity in all markets that are trying to grow the game for youth and go to youth to meet them where they're at, to make rugby a legitimate entity in their lives that's accessible, that is fun, that is inspiring, that's sticky. And we can achieve a lot if we deliver the games in those ways. And so professionalizing the game takes capacity, and we want to launch opportunities for talented folks to be that program manager, be that nonprofit rugby founder, be that coach, be that mentor, be that anchor in some community, in some market, in some school, in some young man or woman's life to make rugby their favorite thing. And so we're talking about a concept, a fellowship, to launch that with national scale and unlock unprecedented impact and cultivate a revolutionary new approach to growing the game at the youth level across the country. Well, we want people to engage as much as possible. I want them to email me or call me at syoung@usrugbyfoundation.com. Call me at 973-975-6995. I still got my jersey number to partner with us to attend our event in Dallas, to attend our Hall of Fame, which is stacking up to be an amazing one this summer or early fall. And ultimately, we do need support. The foundation is about to be a huge engine for change in newer and bigger ways in the next 5 years, and we do need support. So ultimately, our support means that we're able to give more support. And so, just like in life, you can get to where you're going by trying to help other people get to where they're going. That is the ethos and mentality of the foundation right now. So we're trying to help as many programs and people as we can, expand their capacity, professionalize what they do, make the game in their market sustainable, retain kids to participate year over year in this game, build it in their lives as a real institution, a real entity, and be the best version of American rugby we can be going into these World Cups in the 2030s.